Joining us now to discuss is Amir Fakhrآور, Senate Chairman of the National Iranian Congress. Mr. Fakhrآور, thanks so much for coming on here. And I was just finding out moments ago that you are a part of this story. Are you friends with this journalist? Tell the viewers about that.
Thank you for having me, Sean. Yes, I know her. I know Masih from this time. She was a journalist in Iran, and she's a very well-known and loud voice for Iranian oppositions outside of the country. She lives in New York right now. And this is the last year, FBI briefed me, and last night she mentioned that too, because we cannot talk about these type of briefing normally. It's confidential. But today I told the FBI agents that I need to talk about that because this is more serious than I thought. Yes, they briefed us that it's some regime is trying to do some type of assassination or kidnapping against the most well-known voices in Iranian opposition. That Masih is definitely one of those. Mm-hmm. And that's crazy. What type of methods the regime is using these days? Just last year, Iranian diplomat was arrested in Europe, and the diplomat terrorist, and he is right now in jail, and they are following his case. And here in United States, we had Mansour Abrabsiar in our Texas. Yeah. He was trying to...
I need to jump in really quick, Amir, because I'm limited on time, but I want to make sure that we all understand this. So you're alleging that the FBI has contacted you yourself, as well as the journalist, that your life is being threatened by that Iranian regime. Yes. Is that correct?
Yes, and even FBI told her exactly. They had her in safe house 3 times during last year because they knew something is happening. They were monitoring her very well. And it was a cameraman who was following her everywhere, following her family, was taking some photos of her house and herself. And they have been trying to kidnap her and then send her to Venezuela. From Caracas to Tehran is a type of charter flight by IRGC, which easily they could send her to Tehran.
And someone that you guys know, that you two know, was executed in Tehran. Is that correct?
Sorry?
Was someone executed in Tehran that you were connected with?
Yes, he was a member of the board member of my organization, a Senate member of National Iranian Congress, Ruhollah Zam, very good friend of mine. Last year, they kidnapped him. He was a refugee in Paris. They could make some way to have him in south of Iraq. And from south of Iraq, IRGC kidnapped him. They interrogated him in front of national TV. And then they executed him. And an entire country was in shock because he was a journalist and doing this. And the charge was, think about it, corruption on earth, enemy of God.
Let me ask you this, then. What is the Iran regime afraid of talking about these human rights abuses in America? Why does this matter so much to that regime, in your opinion?
Oh, because it's for their propaganda. Regime's intelligence systems is totally trained by Russians, and it's just their propaganda to show, oh, look what is happening in United States, because it's not at all, even not close to the thing is happening inside Iran. Last year, just think about it, they, with sniper, they killed 1,500 kids in the street in front of their parents in 134 towns, with the direct order of this guy, Supreme Leader, Mr. Supreme Leader. Where in the planet, where in the history you have seen such a thing, that the leader of the country ordering to kill with the snipers in the street the kids who are protesting without any gun? It's unbelievable. Well, and Joe Biden is talking to them.
Before we go, and I know it's a sensitive topic, but before we go, obviously the FBI, as you have reported, have reached out to you to say that there is threats to your life. Are you concerned at all? I mean, clearly you still are going on national television talking about this.
It's the story of my life. For last at least 15 years, I'm living in United States, and these days, during last 6 months, it's a lot of threat. They told me the level of threat is very high right now. I'm going after this interview, I'm going to meet them again and to see what is exactly the situation, what we need to do more.
Right. Good, good. Well, stay safe, sir. Thanks for opening up and sharing your story here. As we always like to have an open conversation here. Amir Fakhravar joining us live. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.